All right. What's up, all? JC3 here, the baller of YouTube, the general. Welcome to Topic Tackle. Times the NBA Finals, the final live stream of these finals, finally. All right, I'm going to stop that. Anyway, the first thing that I want to say, to be completely objective, is congrats to the Toronto Raptors. Canada brings it back. I am part Canadian. No, seriously, I am. Seriously, I am. I got relatives, all right? You just didn't know it till now. I'm serious. I don't think any of you can believe me about that. The guy on the left of your screen right there is part Canadian. Actually, not part. He was born there. All right, Drake. Congrats to him. Kawhi Leonard, all the guys. Drake didn't even play. Why am I acting like he's a player? Winning that championship. I got a lot to go over at the beginning of this game. Obviously, you see by the title, it was a hobbled Warriors team. This is not, see, here's the deal. I don't do clickbait. This is not a clickbait title to try to say that their ring is tarnished or an asterisk in any way. They beat a hobbled team. That is a fact. The Warriors did in 2015. Toronto did now. Simple as fact of the matter, at the end of the day, they won 3 games on the road, and they did what they had to do. All right, they came in, they did what they had to do. Here I am. I'm live. And to all of you who tuned in last time, thank you for being back. As you know how this usually goes, I will get to the questions eventually. For now, I want to just go ahead and give you the first word, or I guess it's the last word, because this is probably going to be one of the last live streams of the year, if at all. And it's the last live stream of this NBA Finals. And to everyone who's been with me along the way, I already see you out there. Philip Hatfield, Dre No Cap. I'm trying to remember the other people who have been out here. Eventually, once you comment, your names will come to me. But I just want to say thank you to all of you. Appreciate you for being out here every single stream. And this is not only this year. This is last year. This is consistent. So I appreciate the consistency out of y'all. And so secondly, I want to just give you my Game 6 notes. Klay Thompson, let's start with him. 30 points in 3 quarters. All right, we know he's liable to go off. He was Game 6 Klay tonight for sure. All right, he was out there balling. Unfortunately, what I was texting a lot of guys, and what I just can't believe, I've never seen this many injuries in one series. Not just like all the way spread out, like one series. Looney, like major injuries. Looney, Kevin Durant, which was obviously, affecting him from the previous series, but him. Now you got Klay. I mean, it's unbelievable. And the main thing that I first noticed about the Klay injury is that you saw him come down and basically hyperextend his knee inward. Now, this is easy to say in hindsight, but he should have tried to go down at the end of that dunk. So he loves to dunk, and he went up for that play. He should have tried to fall. Now I know, like I said, in hindsight, this is easy to say, but what he was trying to do is catch basically all of his momentum was going so fast forward. By the way, that game was played very fast. Both teams were pushing the pace, and it just seemed like, man, something like that wasn't liable to happen, but could very well happen. And unfortunately, it happened to the team who already had a bunch of injuries during the series. Klay does not fall, and that is why, as I think about it, and I think I've seen some video on this, a lot of players, they try to keep their balance when it might just be better after a play like that to just fall, okay? So he probably should have just tried to fall on that play. Like I said, it's in hindsight. I'm not criticizing him for it. Looking back on it, it probably would have saved him, right? And so he's on crutches in the back. They did not let him come back. I don't know if they're going to regret that. Probably not, because now they're going to be missing Kevin Durant, considering that he re-signs with them. Not a foregone conclusion, but I may have a video coming out on that soon, so just be ready. Kevin Durant, you know, he'll be out for at least 200-plus days. Seeing just the average recovery time for an Achilles injury, and now Clay is out, and we don't know if it's ACL. I don't like to speculate on injuries. We'll see when the official reports come out. But they did not let him come back, obviously not wanting to go through the Kevin Durant experience and the regret that comes with that all over again. And so we have that going on. And then that last play by Green. So he calls the timeout, and there's like 0.9 seconds left. They don't have a timeout remaining. And that last play by Green was the excessive timeout and a technical foul. It's a direct reflection of the rule change that the NBA made this year. There's only 2 timeouts that remain for each team under 2 minutes. So I think in the past, I don't know if it was how many timeouts you had remaining for the half, you get to keep those under 2 minutes. Basically, it was a good rule change, but it hurt the Warriors this year. They want to minimize the amount of timeouts called under 2 minutes because the game just gets prolonged for too long. And so therefore, that hurt him there. Now, I want to go ahead and switch over to the Toronto Raptors. Van Vliet, he outplayed Curry down the stretch. All right, Van Vliet had a bunch of threes tonight. I don't really want to get too stat heavy in this stream. Just basically want to just take the initial reaction that I got from it. He outplayed Curry down the stretch. Straight up. Curry looked gassed in almost every game. I don't know if I can really make this as a knock against him because they were boxing one, double teaming him all night. He did pass out of it at the end. DeMarcus got a layup, and it was getting closer there. But again, it was just like you're asking him to do so much. He's already gassed. He's been at this for 5 straight years. And there is, like, what's the other option to throw to for 3? He really doesn't have one. Iguodala was stepping up big. I believe he had over 20 points. But Van Vliet, man, they left him open. They were running the pick and rolls. This is something that might go unnoticed. Toronto was doing all series. The pick and roll absolutely killed the Warriors. They ran it. And on this play, I remember a specific play, Quinn Cook continued to run after Gasol on the pick and roll, leaving Van Vliet wide open for a top of the key 3, which he splashed down. He was wet tonight. I got to give it to him. Kyle Lowry, how about we talk about him? A huge night. How about we talk about that after Game 2? I named Kyle Lowry as the X factor. In hindsight, as someone who wanted the Warriors to win, I wish I didn't do that. But objectively, I'm glad I did that because Kyle Lowry had a huge night. I believe he had 19 in the first half. He finished well above 20 points. And from the start, he had the Raptors' first 11 points. He was out for blood, all right? Very impressive, especially someone on the road to come out. And it really didn't matter. Road or home, Toronto won 3 games on the road this series. And with the injuries and all for Golden State, if you're going to win 3 games on the road, you are deserving of an NBA championship. That is why I'm not about to come out here, even if it would help views, to make some type of hot take to say that the Raptors just won an asterisk championship. It is true they won a championship against a hobbled team, but I wouldn't put an asterisk next to it because they came out and they earned it. All right? Their players still got to play regardless of the injuries on the other team, and Lowry definitely balled out tonight. And during his post-game, well, I guess not presser, but just interview with Doris Burke on the championship podium, he said he's now going to FaceTime DeMar DeRozan later. That's an L. I'm sorry, DeMar. Shout out to the Raptors, though. Like I said, they're winning 3 games on the road this series. Kawhi Leonard has now stopped. Here's an interesting fact. 2 three-peats this decade. Of course, 2014 Miami Heat with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. And now this Warriors team going for the three-peat in 2019. So he's won Finals MVP in both of those. Impressive. When we look back on the totality of his career, we look about the players that he beat, the history that he stopped both times is crazy. It'd be like you wonder if you could go back to the Michael Jordan era and stop a Chicago Bulls team, right? It'd be like the guy that you were missing in that era to stop the Bulls is Kawhi Leonard in this era. He has just stopped LeBron James and Steph Curry, 2 of the top 5 players from this decade, hands down. So Kawhi Leonard is that guy. If you take anything out of this stream, take this, that Kawhi Leonard is that guy to stop history from happening. He has done it twice, and very impressive for him. Now, what I want to ponder, and I don't want to get onto this because the Raptors just won the championship. I want them to celebrate, but Kawhi's last game of the season was in California. Does he start next season representing a team from that same state, i.e. the Clippers most likely? Who knows, right? We're just going to have to wait. Seems like he likes to play in California, wins a lot there, so we will see. And I want to pull up the biggest fact of the night before I start answering some of your questions and wrap this thing up eventually. I want to get into the biggest winner of tonight. It is Jeremy Lin, your NBA champion. Jeremy Lin, good for this guy. I've been following his career. Obviously, you know, he had Linsanity, but he's a good guy. I got to root for a fellow believer, obviously, as well, fellow Christian. So, you know, shout out to him, Jeremy Lin, winning this ring. I don't know, you know, what his contribution was other than checking in the fourth quarter in one of those games. I think Game 4 he checked in fourth quarter. Got a little bit of run, but other than that, he will always be able to say he's an NBA champion. Bounced around, started with the Warriors, and went around Knicks. He went to the Rockets, Hawks. I forget he was on Charlotte Hornets, I think. Brooklyn Nets, I think he was on, and now Toronto. So shout out to Jeremy Lin. And then just to pull up one more about the Warriors' overall effort from Marcus Thompson, the reporter. No Durant, no Clay. Kevon Looney with a broken chest. Curry playing against multiple defenders. These odds the Warriors face are pretty incredible. It's definitely true. And, you know, for me, the positive that I'm taking out of this, if I'm a fan of the Golden State Warriors, is that you came that close literally every single game, with the exceptions of, well, Game 3 was somewhat close. Game 4 was kind of a blowout. But you came that close tonight. Game 5, you came close and won. You came that close to pushing a Game 7 with the second best player arguably in the world out, who was dominating in Game 5 before he got injured, and Game 6 Clay out, and also Game 6 Clay, we'll just call him Clay, out Game 3, which you know, if the Warriors would have won one of those games, we're looking at Game 7. Games 3 and 4, we're looking at, you know, they're up 3-2, and now we're going back for Game 7. But it's almost good for them that they don't have to play a Game 7 because, I mean, I don't know who they're rolling out there if they can't have Clay. I mean, what are we pulling up guys from the G League now? Like, who are we playing? And then Green, this is a crazy part too. Green was one technical away from having 7 and being out for Game 7. So if he would have gotten a technical tonight, you got Steph Curry, DeMarcus, and then, not to say the rest of the guys are not quality NBA players, and I respect the heck out of them. But man, who do you got? Who do you got to compete out there, man? It's just crazy. This is literally my reaction, because I've never seen in one series, so many injuries, and they were banged up going into it. Iguodala's banged up. You know, Curry is just gassed. I know it's not an excuse for Curry, but man, those guys just look tired. They look gassed. Shouts to Toronto. They took advantage of it. It was a hobbled team that they beat, and now my mind is making some correlations back to 2015 when, you know, if you're a Cavs fan in that series, we pushed the Warriors to 6 games, and we had LeBron and Dellavedova. If I'm a Warriors fan, now I'm thinking we pushed those Raptors with Kawhi Leonard to 6 games, and we didn't have Kevin Durant. We didn't have Clay in very important stretches in games. So, I mean, it's just like, what are you going to do? At the end of the day, shouts out, Toronto, you got your championship. I have a feeling, though, not to be a downer, that this is short-lived, as opposed to the Warriors in the past where I felt like this could continue. I feel like for Toronto it is going to be short-lived. Speaking out of speculation, obviously I don't know any facts about this, but it just seems like Kawhi, I don't know, like, what are they going to do to keep him committed there, right? He's just someone, he is just so stone cold that you don't know, like, what he's thinking. So I was even watching some of the interactions he had with Masai Ujiri, not to say that, and Kyle Lowry, not to say that they looked fake in the celebration, but it just didn't look like it was that much of a, I don't know, I just got the feeling it's not going to last. And if Kawhi does stay, I'll definitely be proven wrong, and I actually want him to stay so the East and West can be somewhat balanced. But it just doesn't seem like this is something that's going to last. Secondly, here's a fact. Out of the big four from Oklahoma City's 2012 finals run, we're talking Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Serge Ibaka. 2 of those players have championships, and it's probably not the 2 that you would have expected to get it first. Serge Ibaka just won, and of course Kevin Durant. And we still have Russell Westbrook and James Harden, 2 of arguably the top 10 players in the NBA, still ringless, still trying to figure it out with all that ISO ball. You just don't know what's going to happen. You got to play a team game. And Toronto had everybody step up and contribute. So let me go ahead and I'm going to move on now to all of your comments. I thank you for staying out here and listening through that whole spiel there. We're at 15 minutes in the stream, and I'm going until I get all these answered. Philip Hatfield shouts out again. I shouted you out at the beginning. I want to take time to recognize the people who have really been here. If you're just getting here, hey, I'm not mad. Stay here, right? But if you've been here for a long time, thank you so much. And these are the real ones here. So we have Let's Go. This sounds crazy, but LeBron is my favorite player. I really didn't want Curry and the Warriors to pass him up in rings. Now it's Bron to seek his redemption and win a ring. Yeah, interesting take there. That is true. I did think about that. Steph could have had a chance tonight, along with Dre, Clay, all those guys with the original team who are still there, have been over the 5-year run, to get their 4th ring and pass LeBron in rings. That is crazy to think that that could be happening. Could next year. We don't know. But now they stay tied with LeBron, 3 rings and 3 rings. And now that is 2 championship losses for Steph. I don't know what that does legacy-wise. Personally, I think it's better than 3 and 6. But, hey, let's not get there, right? LeBron's made it to 9. Impressive feat. We'll discuss all that stuff later. Philip, again, Fred VanVleet closed this game for the Raptors. Absolutely. And you know what? That's the thing, too. We can't excuse Steph Curry down the stretch, right? Steph in this series, I think he averaged like 30 and a half points per game. Like, he was doing what he was doing. It just looked like at the end of games he was just somewhat ineffective, just tired. Defensively, VanVleet just went at him and was hitting big shots. So I don't know. Of course, I'm not putting blame on Steph because VanVleet seemed to be doing that to everybody. But it just seems like down the stretch, when there was no other option for the Warriors besides maybe DeMarcus, who was doing some stuff, Steph Curry was your guy. And if you are the man, you will get the buckets at the end, and you just couldn't come up with it. So we will see. I obviously support Steph Curry. I'm a big supporter of Steph Curry. Just unfortunate at the end, he just couldn't come through. So we'll see what happens in the future with that and how that affects his legacy. It all just depends on people's points of views, I guess. So Drano Cap, are there going to be the locker room? Are they going to show the locker room celebration? I bet they are showing it right now. Personally, I have no interest in watching it. I'll probably actually watch it later, but I'm here with you. That's what matters the most. They'll probably show that. Warriors might have won if Clay stayed healthy. Philip Hatfield, I definitely believe that because Clay already had 30 points at the 3rd quarter. You think he's going to get you at least, 5 to 7 more in the 4th? There's your difference right there. They lost by 4, which really they lost by 2. I mean, at the end, they fouled Kawhi, got 2 free throws with 0.9 seconds left. That's the difference. And at the last game, end of the game, Steph hit a big 3, and Clay hit a big 3 at the end of Game 5. You did not have Clay there to hit that big 3. Said you had DeMarcus driving it in, getting layups, but obviously he's not going to be hitting 3s at the end of games. Drano Cap, Draymond did a Chris Webber all over again. It really was. It really was. I just think, he had no other option, though. Like, at 0.9 seconds at half court on the ground, he had to call timeout. Like, he really did not have another option. So, yeah, but it is what it is. Pancakes, Warriors would have won if Clay didn't get hurt. I agree they would have won this game. I'm not sure about Game 7, but, hey, the 3-1 momentum is something else, so you never know. Let's see here. Drano Cap, fun fact, Kawhi smiled. I was taken back by the celebration by Kawhi at the end. He had his hands raised and was yelling like, oh my God. I was like, Kawhi, dude, calm down, man. I don't know what I'm looking at here. All right, you need to calm down. But that was pretty crazy. So that was Kawhi at the end. Philip Hatfield, please post a lot this summer. I can't wait to see what content you have in store for us. And I can't wait to see you in the comments, Philip. I appreciate that. I am posting a lot this summer. Absolutely. And by a lot, I mean at least once a week. All right, because I want the content to be quality. Maybe twice. If you get twice, just cherish that. All right. But I am coming. Got a lot of great ideas. So just stay ready for all that. It's coming at you. Drano Cap, Jeremy Lin is trending on Twitter. Good for my boy. Right there. He's not really my boy, but, good for him. I am subscribed to him on YouTube. If you look at my subscriptions, you will see that I've been subscribed to Jeremy Lin for a long time. So there's your evidence. I've been rocking with him. DC 2K17. Yeah, that's right. Dr. Philly Willie. So first championship for the franchise, the Toronto Raptors. Also the first international NBA team to win a chip, and that is perspective right there. NBA team from Mexico City confirmed? I think not. DC 2K17. Raptors win. Yeah, Raptors better than Warriors over. Actually, if I could put this up on the stream, I would right now, but it would look weird if I put it up and had to size it. The picture that is, simple fact is, Draymond said, this ain't it for us. It's not over. Iguodala had a quote before Game 5 saying, I'll definitely be back next year, and I think our core will stay intact. So we'll see what all that means at the end of the day. I think, unfortunately, the Durant injury could contribute in him staying to Golden State, staying with Golden State, considering he's going to be out potentially for all of next year, maybe have a potential playoff return. Just depends. We'll see. We'll see. But circumstances the way they are, they could keep their core intact. I think everybody's doom and gloom stories, all the reporter stories all year may be veering more toward fake news than actual reality. And of course I'll have a video out on that eventually. Just wait on that. Stay ready. Philip Hatfield, thanks for showing me love, bro. Love this page. Keep going strong. I appreciate you. Kawhi, third chip. Incorrect. Second chip, but I see you out here. He could win a third chip. Dr. Philly Willie. Forgot about Jay Lin. He is the most recent NBA player of Asian descent to win a chip since Sin Yu on the Lakers with... Oh, shout out Sin Yu. Or Sun Yu. I can't even say it right. On the Lakers with Kobe in 2009. What a legend. What a legend. I don't really know who that is, but shout out. Lil Boy Blue 3000. Are you going to do a video on Kawhi's New Balance shoes? People have posted like reviews on that. I don't know if I can necessarily do a review, but that is a good idea. Just the whole process of him going over there, and now especially since he's like suing Nike for his logo. You know what? I'm going to put that in right now into the phone. And Kawhi New Balance situation. I will keep that in mind for a video idea. So thank you for that, whoever that was. Little Boy Blue 3000. Dre No Cap. DeMarcus Cousins thought he was going to get a quick ring. Yeah, I mean, I can't really deny that, pretty much. Now, that's another guy I don't know if they're going to be able to keep next year. I think, although he did struggle in these finals, I think a team will throw, if not a max contract, a hefty contract his way. Lakers or somebody like that. Lakers will throw money at anybody at this point. But, yeah, we'll see with him. I'm not going to read that 991 stupid. Kawhi Leonard doesn't have the fancy dribbles. He also doesn't trash talk and celebrate every point. That's why he is so low profile. And in a way, I mean, that's good. That's what we say we want out of our players. But in a way, it's like hard to market that. Even not trash talking and complaining, like just the emotional aspect, when that is gone, it's hard to market a guy like that. So we'll see. I think New Balance, speaking to the New Balance shoes, on the right track, which is basically the basic Times New Roman font, and just the kind of the old school vibe of just going to work, you know, hard hat and all, right? So I think, you know, they could possibly tap into something there. We'll see. Pancakes, Boogie choked those free throws. Yes, thank you for bringing up the free throws. I don't know how many Golden State missed tonight, but I think they left at least like 11 points on the board with free throws. And so there you go. I mean, that stuff always, literally always comes back to bite a team. And they did not cash in on those opportunities tonight. So that was unfortunate for them. Still keep in mind how Warriors blew 2 games in home court before with Clay. I don't know what you're referencing there, but they did lose 3 times this final. So I'm ready for free agency, the draft, and all the trades. Dre No Cap. Yeah, that is what we move on to. We move on to the NBA draft, I believe. What is it, next Thursday or the Thursday after? Something like that's coming up soon. And then we'll have free agency. We'll see how it all pans out. I think with Kevin Durant being injured, it becomes a lot more interesting because it's not like, well, actually, I don't know if I want to say that. I don't know what it becomes. It becomes interesting in a different way. If he's not injured, we're all speculating he's going to leave. Now that he's injured, we really don't know. So we'll figure it out. It's not like we knew in the first place, okay, but still. Read a couple more and then I'll be signing off. DC 2K, Kyle Lowry is going to score 24 points per next year. So this is the deal. Regardless of what he ends up scoring, he can always say, hey, for all the times that I scored 0 in the playoffs, I got me 1 ring. So if he ever posts up another 0-point game again, he can always just hold this up in somebody's face. So good for him. Why did Kawhi leave Jordan Nike? Yeah, that's another, that's from Dre No Cap. That's another interesting video idea to look into, and I might get into that eventually. So with all that being said, I want to thank everybody for coming out during these 6 games in 2 weeks exactly. It's been 2 weeks since the NBA Finals started, and thank you for tuning in so diligently and really faithfully every stream. I thank you for that, and just be ready this summer. I'm going to continue to interact with you in the comments. If I ever do another stream, I will absolutely post it earlier in the day so you can see the video stream, the link for later tonight. I'll advertise it, whatever I got to do. Just continue. The one thing I will ask out of you is you've been so great coming to these streams. Continue to come out and show out on the videos. Like, be the ones in the comments. Like, I'll do a challenge to you guys. You guys who have been on all these streams, be the ones in the comments first. Represent. All right, continue to show them what we're all about over here, because you have great questions and feedback every single time, every one of these streams. I mean, I talk for at least 10 minutes every time just answering your questions, and so I got to thank you for that. And with all that being said, thank you guys. I appreciate every single one of you, and we will see you. I will see you in the comment section of new videos. Anytime you got questions, anything like that, just hit me up on Twitter, Josh Carson JC3. I may be doing Instagram soon. I don't know. If I do, I will advertise it at the beginning of one of my videos, so you can always hit me up on there as well. So thank you for showing all your support, for coming out. Congrats to the Raptors. They get this done, and we'll see what comes next in the offseason, because basketball never stops. JC3, out.